Hello and welcome to Rumi Uncensored and happy Monday. It's our evening show and I'm so ready. I'm so ready to have this discussion because it's such an important one, yeah. It is so important, and I'm asking you guys to come through so that we can have a chat. Okay, so you've seen the headline: the President Mnangagwa is facing death threats. I think you've seen a video that is circulating where a man is threatening to kill him. He's holding two guns. Unbelievable. But the police now, they're saying they're taking action. They're definitely taking a hunt on this man. So the appeal said, if you guys have any clue about the brother that was threatening the president, please let us know. James, good to see you. Good evening to you guys. And Tshabangu again, Drake's ZANUPF. Munyara, it's good to see you guys. What's up, yo? You can see the headlines. Oh, well, Brian Sylvester is here. Kudakwashi Lazarus is here. Good to see everyone. Good to see you guys. All right, so we're going to have this chart, quite a heavy chart, honestly, heavy chart. Who has the nerve to threaten the president, Emerson Mnangagwa? Who is that person? Who has the nerve? Franz John Clifford. Pardon, good to see you. Mistake. Did I just make a mistake? Anyway, guys, I'm so excited right now. Let me tell you, Hope Oishingon is trending. And I know, you know why? Because of their 6.5 hours that they took last night, literally, just talking about what Chamsa could have done. And also, suggesting that Nelson can actually have a conversation with the old Kadar, which is the Washman Move, Tendai Biti, and Mafome. And I've dropped a question during the day that what y'all thinking about that. Okay, so Leon, thank you so much for coming through. Let me tell you, Leon, you must check a little bit later. I'm gonna drop my contacts there. You can WhatsApp us because you've been looking for my email. Please send us a WhatsApp. We'll be sharing the emails with you if you want to communicate further. Good to see everyone. All right, so yeah. Let me just read it because I feel like every person who's trending deserves some special treatment. So Hope Moshingono is trending. So we're gonna read. Thank you so much, guys. For those people have been asking about my birthday. My birthday was actually yesterday, but I had a hectic day, so I was not able to actually come live. So guys, for those who wanna be of a blessing to their sister, feel free to do so. There's a thanks button there. You can just be of a blessing, and I'll appreciate you deeply, guys. Bless your sister if you want to. It's not by force. If you want to, if you feel like, the Lord is pushing you to be of a blessing, go ahead and do it. All right, so let's respect and honor Mr. Hopo and read his tweet. So he said, this is heartbreaking story. Guys, did you see a video that is, a picture of police Zimbabwe's shoes literally on top of the table? This is what Hopo Chingono had tagged, and he began to speak, against the brutality that the police always literally show the citizens, especially when citizens stand up and protest against injustice or against corruption. Police are always at the forefront to fight citizens. Now, he said this is a heartbreaking story. Zimbabwean policemen told through a picture, these are the men and women who are used by the regime to violate the constitutional rights of Zimbabweans who are opposed to corrupt rule by stopping citizens from protests and petitioning the government. Yet this is the thank you they are getting from the regime. You need to go to the law and order section of the police at Harare Central police station. This is the division that is used by ZANUPF to persecute the opposition, critics and journalists exposing corruption. The place is a mess with the wood and windows that are rotten. The last time I was arrested for exposing corruption, we got there and the lights were not even working. The cops had to use cell phone lights. This is the cause of the massive looting of public funds by the ZANUPF political elites. Nobody is spared, including those who are used to brutalize their fellow citizens to keep the regime in power. ZANUPF is an equal opportunities abuser. Corruption and misuse of power have devastating effects on all levels of society. So the shoe is literally damaged, completely done. this is heartbreaking, but what's fun is that the person that put the shoes on top of the table is a policeman. I think last time you also saw an army general that was literally, protected the president. That army guy, his ballet, heti yake bareta nangaraka varuka. You remember that, and people were talking about it. So honestly, we all need to come together and just sort out our country. I'm a firm believer that we can do it together. We can fix the country. Now, breaking news. These are not really good news, y'all. So Tendai Biti has been convicted of a crime of assault. Right, so Zim Live reported that former Minister Tendai Biti has been found guilty of verbally assaulting Russian national Tatiana Aleshina by Harare magistrate Bongai Muchuchuti. Pre-sentence hearing at 12:30 p.m. Aleshina is an employee of property tycoon Ken Shep. So there is a property tycoon where she works for, the whom she's working for. Apparently, yeah. What can you expect? The elites are at work. They're literally at work. Quite interesting. They are at work. Now, we need to listen to the attorney for Tendai Biti speaking. But not only are we going to listen to the attorney, I think the video actually extracted it from HSTV. You're also going to be listening to a woman. She's a Zimbabwean woman who's now politicizing Tendai Biti's story. And I'm disappointed because I thought we need to protect one another and show each other love. But Zimbabweans are very interesting people sometimes. Some of our people are very interesting characters. Is they can turn against each other at the twinkling of an eye. Now I'm going to ask you about almost 200 people who are here to please like the live so we can push algorithm. Please come through in your numbers so we can push algorithm. It is very, very crucial. Now, I'm going to make sure that I let you guys listen to the attorney for Tendai Biti. And we're also going to be listening to a lady who is, she's calling herself a ZANUPF. She's dragging President Mnangagwa in the conversation. Unbelievable. And I'm asking myself, this is Tendai Biti at the court. Where is the president coming into this? Where? How are you dragging President Mnangagwa into this issue for Tendai Biti at the court? But that's how they are. Maybe, is that what you call bootlicking? I don't know if that's the bootlicking that's going on in the country. It's crazy. But anyway, let's take a listen to the attorney for Tendai Biti, please.
The trial is now come almost to a close. So he was being charged for assault by gesture and by words. So the magistrate has found him guilty as charged in the sense that he is alleged to have called one Tatiana Aleshina stupid and also pointed a finger towards her in a manner that she adjudged was threatening and therefore said that she had been assaulted. So the magistrate has now found the Tendai Biti guilty. I must say from the outset that we contest the verdict of guilt and we are going to appeal to the High Court on various grounds. One, on the basis that we felt strongly that this was a constitutional matter which ought to have been referred to the Constitutional Court. We also contest the legality of Section 89(1)(b), under which he was charged. We also contest the findings of the magistrate that the witnesses were credible. And we also contest the fact that Tendai's evidence was not rebutted by the state. So for these reasons, we are going to file an appeal to the High Court. But because the trial itself has not been terminated, we await tomorrow's proceedings to find out what sentence is likely to face. Then we will take it up together with the conviction. So the chances are that we will appeal against both conviction and sentence. So for now, the matter has been rolled over to tomorrow at 10 o'clock for continuation. So tomorrow we'll be addressing the court on mitigation. And the states, if they have, they will be addressing on aggravation. And then we leave it to the magistrate.
All right, guys. Am I the only one who actually want to ask you a question? Maybe I don't understand English better. So according to the allegations, he said stupid, 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 then he says stupid idiot. My understanding is idiot is an English word. is it a vulgar word or is it a swearing word? Because I think it's simply an English word that defines someone who's just stupid, in my opinion. By the way, I don't know how he said it, and they're also alleging that he pointed a finger at the lady. But, and also I realized that if you consider the UK, from what I've heard, is that the UK takes words very seriously. So you never know what's happening in Russia. Maybe in Russia, if you call someone an idiot, it's a crime. You know what I mean? But idiot, to me, it's like someone is just, you're just foolish. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? But like I said, I don't really know the context, you know, around that conviction. But they are saying they're going to be pursuing, you know, they are going to be pursuing that conviction and also, you know, see how they can fight the state. But there was a woman that was quite very, very interesting. That woman was shouting at Tendai Biti, and they also said that because she works for the same company with the same lady. She's a Zimbabwean woman. She's shouting and she says, no, we don't want men who treat women that way. And she's saying that that as Tendai Biti, there's no right to do so. President Emmerson Mnangagwa. And I'm like, why do you guys always drag President Emmerson Mnangagwa in almost every nonsense that happened in the country? And I'm not saying that there was no crime that is, but where is the President Emmerson Mnangagwa fit into this story? He's the president of a nation. So you need to understand that there are times that you drag him and there are times that you don't have to drag the president into the situation, which is quite very sad indeed, quite sad to watch. But this woman, anyway, very embarrassing. I want you to take a listen to this lady shouting. Unbelievable. Takambotedzeko munyika umu nemi vanhu vanoita zvinhu zvakadai swim. Amai vanga vachipopota. Ko muri kupopotei? What is she shouting at? Now take a listen, please.
Elizabeth Mucheche, mai parinyatwa. Ndauya pano ndichitsigira mudzimai ari muzvine mabhizimusi anonzi Tatiana Aleshina. She's Russian. Ndiri mwana wa Mucheche buses. Ana baba edu ndo vakarwa hondo yechimurenga yakabuditsa flag redu reZimbabwe ndo vaisapota ZAPU neZANUPF. Zvese ZANU neZAPU zvapera zvese izvozvo. AK-47 ndo futi yakashandiswa pahondo yakabva kuRussia. Saka tinouya nhasi pano paRotten Court. Ndiri kutaura inini saElizabeth Mucheche, mwana wa Mucheche wemabhazi, kuti kana mainvestors auya mukati menyika ino, especially madzimai, tiri kunzwa Mnangagwa achitaura kuti he is open for business pahurumende yawo yeSecond Republic. Saka tikaona Tendai Biti akutukana nemadzimai auya nemubusiness vachida kuvaka nyika nesu, hanzi nyika inovakwa nevene vayo tisuka. Tatiana auya kakuzovaka neni. Auya zovaka neni wangu mutuka kuti very stupid. Sazvikuda ati Tatiana ari stupid, nyika yake iri stupid, wati bombesa nyika panapa. Tiri kutaura kuti this must stop. Hanzi heads will roll. The whole bodies of people that abuse women are going to roll. We want to make sure kuti kubvira zvino nekusingapere hapana anotuka mudzimai, whether I am black, I am white, I am pink, I am yellow, I am blue, I am orange, whatever, rainbow. Tiri kutaura kuti madzimai hatukwe. Unotuka mukadzi kuti hanzi very stupid, you are very stupid, who are you? Umborani pasi penyika inei. Saka tiri kuda kutaura zuva ranhasi kuti madzimai tine simba. Tizote statue yambuyananda yakaiswa. Tine simba rekutsigira zvese zvine chekuita nehurumende nemapolicies ehurumende ane chekuita nemainvestments. Saka tiri kuti zuva ranhasi Abiti vanhu vawanikwa vari guilty. Tiri kufara zvisingaite. Nhasi tiri pamuchato nekuti semadzimai tiri kutaura kuti unotungamira sei nyika. Oya tiri kuda kuopoza Alright Revolutionary Party. Unoiopoza sei uchituka arungu acho? Wambouya wakonobva kari padhemhere. Wanonga mapepa eGreendale here, kuGreendale kwatoshandira mabusiness kwazara mapepa. Hausi kunonga mapepa uri kutuka mainvestors. Ndozvinhu zvatiri kuti zvinofanira kumiswa. Saka ndiri kufara zuva ranhasi kuti anzi guilty mangwana topiwa ruling nekusingaperi. Amen.
Following his conviction, Biti now awaits sentence which is likely to be handed down on Tuesday after mitigation. Biti joins a long list of opposition leaders who include Job Sikala, Fadzai Mahere, and Jacob Ngaruvume, convicted under circumstances which they have deemed to be politically motivated.
Yeah, first of all, who's this woman? Who's that? Whose mom is it? Dear Maivani Kwava. First, but guys, how many nonsense that has been happening in the country that involved the women, that were very serious issues, and these women were quiet. Guys, you know what, in South Africa, if a child gets even violated, if a woman can be killed, whatever that happens with a woman, you see the Women's League, you know the ANC Women's League, you see them in their, and let me tell you, faithfully to the end. They've been pursuing a story about a fake prophet called Omotoso, who was violating young girls. That story has been going on for more than 4 years, and the guy was never given bail because his cases were very serious. And I see them every time in the court, the Women's League, in their green uniform and black. But what's happening with our Women's League in Zimbabwe? We see young girls being violated, pregnant young girls 6, 7 years, 8 years old. I've never seen the Women's League. Now you see this woman who's attacking Tendai Biti. By the way, as much as I know these guys have really play messes with us right now, but I'm going to be on the side of Tendai Biti and said, Mama, so many important things are happening in the country you don't hear. You know those people that hear no evil and see no evil, except when it's someone else. Now she's dragging the story of Tendai Biti into politics. If ye assaulted someone, why is this supposed to be political? It's one thing to say they assaulted while they're at the political rally. No. They were simply people that were doing their thing that had nothing to do with politics. So why are you dragging politics? Again, I think now Miss Reid is being vindicated that the problem we have in the country is we politicize everything, which is actually very sad. It is very sad to watch. I'm disappointed with the mama there. Guys, do you remember the story of Mary Chiwenga? And the people were like, where are the ladies? Where are they? Stand up. You know what? Like I said, I was explaining that a lot of women going to the courts and be demonstrating. Did you ever see anything? But right now she's busy shouting in Tendai Biti. You know, she's even fighting for the Russian woman. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong. I mean, for me, I'm not a discriminator. I think if Tendai Biti was wrong, definitely he must face consequences. He must face consequences of his actions. Fair play, but you know, let's just be fair. If we are dealing with issues that pertain to women, we don't have to choose. It's not only about this Russian lady, which I'm respectfully so she's a businesswoman, that is more important than all other women that are being violated. When those Netsai and Cecilia Chimbiri were abducted and tortured, people said they were lying. Guys, when are we going to be fair? When are we going to be a people who stand for what's right always, notwithstanding who is who and who is what? Treating everyone equal. And that's all I'm just saying on this story. Treat everyone the same. But with Mr. Tendai Biti, honestly, I'm just waiting to hear about the sentencing. Because, you know, yeah. But they also said that they're going to appeal, anyway, the conviction in the High Court. And the attorney is saying this matter could have been heard in the Constitutional Court because it was simply an exchange of words. However, it was heard in the Magistrates Court, it was convicted, but they're going to be pursuing the High Court. That's all I have to say. Let's treat everyone equal. In my opinion, everyone should be treated the same. Now, they also Tendai Biti's ally. The guy went out and he said Democrats are egged by the conviction of Tendai Biti, a devout human rights defender. He has been convicted after 4 years of persecution by prosecution for his spirited fight against corruption. The court could have devoted these resources in a better way, devoting a whole deputy prosecutor general, a magistrate, interpreters, prison officials, and transcribers to a laughable matter of this nature makes a mockery of the criminal justice system. Holding different political views is not a crime. So he said this was a political motivated matter, which I have no comment on that. I'm not a magistrate, but all I'm just saying is, honestly, if there are issues that pertain to women or men, whatever the case may be, we must make sure that we treat everyone the same. Everyone is special and everyone is important. Every Zimbabwean is important. We must all rise up when injustice is dropping, like the way that we do now, notwithstanding where we stand now politically with my brothers, Tendai Biti and all. I'm focusing on what's going on right now, and I have to be fair. And so I don't think that's the way you should talk to your brother. Drag him into politics. It has nothing to do with politics. Ma'am, honestly, you're just embarrassing yourself. Do what's right for Zimbabweans and for everyone. Because the Russian investor will leave one day and you're going to be face to face with your people. I can't wait to see what's going to be happening in the next 10 and 15 years, y'all. Because I know some people are going to be very embarrassed. Now, David, like you said, absolutely pathetic. Such a flimsy charge. And the Duke of Chinem took, but again, I said, because I don't want to drag this to political media. Some people talk about the two-thirds majority that was dominated. I don't want that because I do not want to drag people in every little thing. If I'm dealing with their case, it's one thing. If I'm dealing with, whatever they do wrong, it's another thing. I don't want to mix two things. I'm not God. I'm a firm believer that God will always vindicate. Some are saying Nelson Chamisa is being vindicated. It's not for me to judge. God will tell at the right time. Now, we as a Zimbabwean people, we need to know who is really our enemy here. Because sometimes we fight among ourselves when we're ignoring the real culprits. You know what I mean? We ignore the real culprits and we be fighting unnecessarily. But as much as me and Linda politically, we aren't really, vibing, but she really said something so strong this afternoon. Says Zimbabwe will be free the day when all citizens realize that their enemy is social injustice, lack of respect for institutions, corruption, and poverty. If these issues are addressed, Zimbabweans will prosper and Zimbabwe will prosper. I agree with him. We don't have problems. We just have few things that we need to address and everything will fall into place. Few things we just need to address and the whole nation will fall into place. Now, with the issue of President Emmerson Mnangagwa that is facing death threats, I don't know for those that have seen a video that is circulating of a man who threatening the President Emmerson Mnangagwa. I want you to listen to him. He's holding 2 guns, but because YouTube does not allow those that information to circulate online. But you take and listen to him speaking, threatening His Excellency President Emmerson Mnangagwa. Take a listen, please.
Utengira vanhu mishonga vararame vakuplaudze as a president utengira vanhu mishonga kuti vararame wotengira maministers mota what kind of thing that what kind of stupidity wotira vanhu vodya mavegetables iyoyo ndarewo make sense you are giving a warning yatoziva chiwenga muteedzeri wako ari kuda kutofa ziva kutorwara haasi kuda kana kutomboita president haasi kuda chigaro saka beta chirota kuramba mako wezimbabwe kana take a new direction. It's going to take a new direction and everything are going to be happy. Zimbabwe will be better without him. So what we did so far, Mugabe was better. It's idiotic. Takafana chiti wapinda pasofa so we did watanga kuti takwa west wapinda like. So be careful. It's just under musoro magwezi. True. We are going to be using skills to enter where you think you are hiding. Panofunga kuti wachengetedza zvakao, be careful, watch out. Uba warning Mudare, be careful. Be careful Mudare Mnangagwa nyarikana.
He's very angry. He's extremely angry. And I want you to take a listen to him again. Very angry.
What kind of thing? What kind of stupidity? What are vegetables? Make sense. You are giving me a warning. It was the way you went up to the Robo, I will provide the Rara, as soon as I know with the president, as soon as you can. So it's better you are going to take a new direction. When I said it's going to take a new direction, and everybody are going to be happy. Zimbabwe will be better without you. So we just over that was better. It's idiotic. Takafana chiti wapinda pasofa so we watanga kuti takwa west wapinda like. So be careful. It's just under musoro magwezi. True. We are going to be using skills to enter where you think you are hiding. Be careful, watch out. Be careful. Be careful,
wow, that's really serious right there. So when I saw this video, some people were saying no, but this video is an old video. That's what other people were saying. But to my surprise, because I now saw a statement from Police Zimbabwe, they are looking for this guy. They said we are looking for him. And I was like, no, if this has happened then, why are they only looking for him now? What happened when that video was circulating? Was it because the social media didn't really cry out? You know what I mean? Unbelievable. But they sent out a statement, Police Zimbabwe, which the Newsworks was reported and said Zimbabwean police say they've launched a manhunt for an unidentified gunslinger who appeared on social media brandishing 2 pistols while threatening to kill President Emerson Mnangagwa and other senior government officials, charging they have destroyed the country. The man speaking Shona and English says Mnangagwa is worse than the late former President Robert Mugabe. Hence, he risks being killed. In a reaction, the police said the ZANUPF is appealing for information which may assist to identify and locate a man who is seen on social media brandishing 2 pistols while threatening to kill the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and some government officials. The man is wearing a black suit and a purple shirt. Anyone with information to report it in nearest police station. Although the man's identities are known, he warns that he is highly skilled in lethal combat and a sniper. So the police are looking for the guy. You know, like I said to you earlier on, I think the problem at Zimbabwe is we don't know how to communicate properly. Oh, people, you see, I'm a firm believer that the reason why there was an issue of demonstrations and the issue of communicating with members of parliament, communicating with councillors, communicating, is so that we can avoid all this boiling out. People are now, you know, they're exploding because the channels of communication simply are not really that open. But if we can learn to communicate properly, it's going to eliminate a lot of violence, a lot of anger. You know, we can see what's happening in our society. People are angry. People are furious. And it's something that we can manage by simply communicating properly. And where people need to sort out something, if they don't understand, they must just outsource help, and then that can be resolved. You see, we don't have problems in the country, but we create most of our problems, unnecessary problems. But I also don't think that any individual can threaten the head of state. This is the president we are referring to. You can't threaten a president. You know what I mean? I don't really know the person much, but I'm just saying you can't. There are ways that we can communicate. Violence is not the answer. Honestly, both ways, be the opposition or be the ruling party, violence is not the answer to resolve issues. It's a matter of fact. Violence begets violence. If we fail to resolve our issues amicably, we are simply laying a foundation of toxicity that we may not be able to curb. So wisdom is we open lines of communication, you know, like having suggestion boxes where people can be able to speak up. You know, whistleblowers can drop issues that are going on so we can sanitize our society. I hate violence. I hate it with passion. I really don't think that was wise. You know, but like I said, the police are hunting for the guy. You know, but who am I, honestly? People get away with a lot of things. You know, like I said to you last time, guys, you know, honestly, this platform is not to play games. I'm very respectful at the end of the day. You know, whether we like it or not, the president, ED, is the president, Emerson Mnangagwa, is the president of Zimbabwe. It's there on paper. You can't deny it. You know, there may be logistics or that we think were unfairly, followed. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. And I have to speak respectfully. You know what I mean? That's why I'm saying if we can have channels of communication where we speak properly, then it will avoid a lot of anger. Honestly, I just wish that can happen, to really communicate properly. And he's a very angry man. He's really angry. He's holding 2 guns. Unbelievable. The world is just angry. The world is really, really angry because whenever people speak up, their feelings are being silenced, muted all the time. And then before you know it, they're bottling out in anger. Now, you know, I don't know what to do with this man, but you know what I'm going to say? I think he needs to be stopped. You know, I don't know if he has relatives. Do you think Tshabangu has got a wife who can rebuke him or family members who can put him in line? Because this man needs to be stopped. Because now he was on and on, calling Nelson Chamisa that he's even worse of a ZANUPF than he is. So take a listen to him before I even give my commentary. Unbelievable. Sangezo needs to be stopped. Like as a brother, he has to be stopped. This man is out of hand. Take a listen, please.
If you say he's more ZANU than you, are you saying you've got a part of ZANU in you?
No, ZANUPF is in control, is in charge. One way or the other will benefit from ZANU because ZANUPF is controlling how I live today. ZANUPF gazettes the minimum wage. ZANUPF, the economy of Zimbabwe is where it is because of ZANUPF. So one way or the other, I will still live around ZANUPF. So I can't disassociate myself from ZANUPF. the food that we eat, the shelves, the tenders that are being given to import maize, it's ZANUPF. So one way or the other, I will eat food which is being sponsored by ZANU. He is more ZANU than...
So he's accusing Nelson Chamisa that he's more ZANU than I. You know, Sengezo Tshabangu is so disrespectful. Before we talk about politics, he's one of the most disrespectful men I've never seen. But this is why I respect Nelson Chamisa and follow him. Nelson Chamisa is classy. You know, have you ever seen people who are deranged? That whenever they go crazy, they expect you to be jumping, you know, as far as they'd pull you up. Nelson Chamisa is not that kind of person. Is while you're going rogue, he chills and look at you like you're crazy. That's how you play with nonsense people. This man, he's so disrespectful. Sengezo Tshabangu, you're extremely disrespectful. That's why I said, if he's got a wife, ma'am, can you just rebuke your man, please? Because people are getting sick and tired. Now you hate him. And you know, it's one thing if you want to support ZANUPF, yeah, ZANUPF supporters, you're here. Like, I support Nelson Chamisa, and some people that are supporting Nelson Chamisa here, please, if you are supporting Nelson Chamisa, drop your blue hearts, because the ZANUPF people need to know that as much as they are crying and screaming for 2030, you know, it's also, we are also have our blue hearts that we are pushing up. Drop your blue hearts, please, if you support Nelson Chamisa, because I do. You know what I mean? I do. There's nothing wrong with you supporting a political party. You can support whoever you want. Some people can support Ngonzoro. As a matter of fact, Elizabeth Valerio has got a shadow cabinet now. And I know a guy called Dr. Tadini is also part of that. Incredible guy. And there's nothing wrong. It's amazing. I love the moves. And we are all Zimbabweans. At the end of the day, whoever is going to be the leader is going to be a leader of everybody. Please bear with me. Bear with me, please. I don't know why my thing moved. Bear with me, please. When they do that, it's not because it's not balanced. My apologies. Sorry, I apologize on that. When it's not balanced, it does that. Okay, please bear with me. Oh, God. Okay. So, and I knew that they didn't put it properly, so please just bear with me. I'm trying to resolve this quickly here. It's simply the machine that holds my gadget. Oh, God, help me, Holy Spirit. Don't do that to the people. Don't be disrespectful. Okay, just be nice. Okay, I have the tendency of just ask the Holy Spirit to help me when I'm stuck. So please just be gentle a bit. What's up? I'm trying to push the button. I don't know why it's being paranoid. But anywho, okay, the bottom line is that, hold on for me a bit. I wish they can just change this for me. Okay. Oh my God, this is crazy. This is really crazy. What happened? What's going on here? Oh my God, just hold on. I'm gonna do this if possible. But because, oh my God, this is crazy. Hold on for me, please, guys. Bear with me, please. Oh my God, Holy Spirit. Yeah. Guys, I actually need help here. Just hold on for me. Hold on. Oh my word, this is crazy. All right, so we're going to resolve this quickly here. Okay. Thank you, Holy Spirit. All right. I had to restart it so that I can be able to balance. Thank you. I managed to do so. Thank you. All right, so I'm sorry about that. Oh, good. All right, so it was my machine, the machine that I use for some reason. I don't know what happened. All right, so what I'm saying is there's really nothing wrong for you. You can support any political party that you want. You know, I prefer using my phone because it's quicker than connecting the camera. There'll be wires there and wires. So I use the gimbal that actually convert my phone into a camera. So it's quick and easy for me, you know, because I'm very, you know, I'm always busy. So what I'm saying is that there is nothing wrong. You can support whichever political party that you want. But while you're wherever you are, at least be respectful. Because you're the one who record our people, right? You literally record our people. It's like you have ethical. I'm sorry about that. It was simply the gimbal that moved a bit. So please forgive me. Okay, so my point is that you're more than welcome to support whichever political party that you want. It's a good thing, but stop trying to mess up with our political party, okay? We find here as a citizen, as citizen, not Triple C anymore. Yo, please, God, remove this Triple C off my tongue. I want nothing to do with it, But all I'm saying is we are good where we are now. We are waiting for a signal and we're cool. So don't drag us into mess. Leave us alone, Sengezo, and leave Nelson Chamisa alone. Do your thing while we're watching you. We are just watching to see where you're going. But there were quite a lot of reaction, regarding this Sengezo Tshabangu thing. So Rashwit Mukundi said to think that a whole party and government leadership, including parliament in Zimbabwe and the judiciary, entertained this guy, destroying the national credibility and image is beyond imagination. We are indeed led by none-thinkers. I'm going to comment on that. That's a powerful, powerful submission. And Hope watching on as well, he says he's ZANUPF. So now finally, Sengezo Tshabangu confirmed he's ZANUPF. You heard him, he said that. But not as much as the other guy. This guy is a platinum clown. Talk about unintended consequences. Through a Freudian slip, he is confirming that we have always known that he is a ZANUPF tortoise. Everybody knew. People spoke about it, even though there were others that were trying to say it's a lie. That was true. And Anesu said, I feel sorry for women who marry such kind of men, seriously. I just can't. And son of Sada, he said, this is the man who seemed to have genuine grievances not to destroy the opposition as done by Monzora. Now, see how the fake fame he got from recourse has gotten into his herd. Nehemiah also said, this guy is an idiot. Whoever advises him is a fool. And Ango Alfie said, Murume akapusa uyu. What is he trying to say? So you can see people as looking at Sengozo, for me, all I can say is, if I want to think about Sengezo, I'm telling myself, guys, something has to give. I can only imagine in a nation like Zimbabwe, such a blessed country, a country full of billionaires, that there is a deranged human who can just rose from nowhere, begin to cause chaos, and everyone think that is normal. To me, it's insane. It's pathetic, a country with people that stays in houses where there are helipads. This is not a political problem, guys. This is on its own. You have literally proved that something is wrong with us as a Zimbabwean people. This is why I said it's time for us to introspect. This is not a political issue. This is an issue of value. Our worthy, literally, the bar, we lowered the bar. It's about the standards that we think we should be addressed with. How do we expect people to respect us? One man from nowhere, people are saying he's actually selling Pepsi. Someone was saying he knows this guy used to sell Pepsi. Pepsi drink, the Pepsi? that Coca-Cola Light. People say it's not even Coca-Cola Light, Pepsi. Sorry, Pepsi, but duh. I don't drink those fizz drinks, so I don't even know. But people saying it's not really, that's what he was selling. But the dude had the nerve to reduce our country to nothing by simply stupid actions. And people entertaining him. It's sad. It's really sad, honestly. I'm talking from a child's point of view and looking at my parents and I'm like, guys, this guy literally reduced us to nothing. To nothing. But what can we say? We have always known that there's so many, machinations that ZANUPF applies. Every time when this time for elections, this is what people are saying. You have seen what happened last night. I told you it was about 6.5 hours people online, literally talking about, that was what pushing spoke about how Nelson Chamisa and other guys can actually, maybe resuscitate this party, speaking as brothers. Can I say this? Nothing wrong with them speaking as brothers. I think at some point they have to actually greet each other when they meet in town. I'm a firm believer that whenever you meet someone, there's a reason why you meet them. It may not be what you think it is, but there may be any other reason why God let you meet the person. So just because Nelson Chamisa doesn't get along with Ngube and BT in terms of politics doesn't mean that they're enemies. They can always meet in other areas of business or any other forms of gathering, be it family wedding, be it funeral. They need to look at each other and say, hi, brother. You know what I mean? And it's important. But when we look from a political point, I don't think that they need to actually rekindle this relationship. No. It's one thing, people need to learn that, some relationships are just beyond repair. And it's okay. It's okay. That does not mean you're a bad person. No. The relationship can just be beyond repair for a reason. So honestly, I don't think it's okay for them to speak regarding politics, but they can still love each other. They can still do business together. But I guess they're in two different worlds. Remember, they messed up with Tsvangirai. And Nelson overlooked that because he was a brother. He knew that they were brothers. But they let him down again this time. Honestly, guys, why do we have to let this guy suffer? I think it's not good. Nelson is only 45 years old. From a young point of view, I can only imagine if you're young and 46, and you're young, you want people who encourage you to be better, who speaks, affirming you that you can do better, you can be better. But when you're surrounded by people who always beat you up, you're a dictator, you are this, you are that, how are you going to grow? It's going to mess up with your potential. It's going to mess up with your dreams, aspirations. You feel like you're a failure. So all I'm going to say, no. Washmen, they're good wherever they are. They can have another party if they want to, resuscitate Triple C if they want to. But them being in the same place with Nelson Chamisa, like in the same political party, under his leadership, I disagree on that. I don't think that will ever work. In my opinion, it's definitely a no. But then, Weakness was exposed by Wopochingon, that Weakness was literally being used during the time of Tsvangirai. They call it counterintelligence. That's what he was saying. To me, it's kind of stupid. Based on my understanding of life, is whatever you sow is what you're going to reap. There's no intelligence in going around and lie to people and expecting you to go, you're smart. No, it's simply a seed of lies that you're sowing. Because all the wrong things that happened after your words, it's on you. It's on you. So, what person going to say Weakness was used by the regime? These are allegations by Hope Wachingono. Take a listen, please.
Something happened, which I've never seen reported, but I want to say it today. ZANUPF has always been adept at using counterintelligence, using people. So what they do is, when they use counterintelligence, they will go to an opposition political leader and they will give information to somebody. This person will give you 9 stories about what's happening, and these 9 stories will be correct, but they will be of no relevance at all. So and so Morgan Tsvangirai then became attached to these people. He thought, one such person was Wicknell Chivayo. Wicknell Chivayo is the one who went to Morgan Tsvangirai in 2008 and said to him, Dara Mudagureyo, Oimari Rovai Pasi. But what had actually happened is that the state, the ZANU-PF machinery, was afraid that if Morgan Tsvangirai had stayed in the country, people could have mobilized around him, rejected what ZANU-PF was trying to do with the results, and go to the streets and just make the country ungovernable. Because for the first time, Robert Mugabe had lost, and he had accepted that he had lost. But he had played around with the numbers to say, I've not lost enough for you to become president. So Morgan Tsvangirai, against the advice of so many people, I remember at that time, people like Ibo Mandaza were saying to him, you can't go. But he said, no, information, and that's how he left the country. When Morgan Tsvangirai came back, we got an exclusive. That time I was a journalist with ITV News, covering Zimbabwe amongst other countries. And I got an exclusive to fly with Morgan Tsvangirai back for the first time, coming back to form a government, but to finish off the talks and to formalize them under President Tshabangu of South Africa. And so I flew to South Africa at the instigation of my boss, Tim Singleton, who's now the head of news at Sky News. And I got to South Africa, and Morgan Tsvangirai at that time was very good friends and being assisted by Strive Masiwa, who at the time owned the Daily News and of course owned Econet as well. I remember when we were flying out, Jameson Timber flew into OR Tambo, and we met him in the diplomatic lounge. And he said, Mdara, what am I doing? You know, that's what Jameson Timber said. At least he's alive to confirm the story. And I was amazed because I could see that, you know, counterintelligence had been used, they'd been infiltrated, and they were given information such that the main pillars around Morgan Tsvangirai, Jameson Timber, Tendai Biti at the time are afraid, and they are put on the run so that, you know, the system can do what it wants to do.
That's very sad. That's really sad to hear. Yeah. You know, whatever that's going on in the country, every time I'm always saying to myself, imagine if people were applying all these, you know, all this wisdom and in really building the nation, where would we be today? Far. Why are we sabotaging ourselves? Why are we just destroying ourselves? Is it necessary? No. But it happens all the time. It's really embarrassing. But it's the same weakness that you're seeing today dishing out cars. And I've seen something that was dropped on Twitter. Person was saying, no, these cars are from Angels War, but I didn't want to pursue it and do actually get it from I know there are sources that I trust, that are in the respect. You know, people sometimes they just drop things on Twitter just for conversation. You know what I mean? Just to spike a conversation. And I'm not going to follow everything that I see. I have to make sure that at least I do my research further. So yeah, this is the same weakness that is giving cars. You can see him. He's the same guy that is also talking about that he played Morgan Tsvangirai. Quite very interesting to hear. Quite interesting. As Mr. Money, you know, Mr. Money. Yeah, quite interesting. All right, so moving on, we're gonna be moving to the family life. Let me just tell you this, because I'm a daughter of a chief, so you know, like when I listened to this chief, I was like, no man, this is not on. It's not on. And I saw that most people were literally circulating this message. Especially men. Men were not happy with this chief. But anyway, listen to this chief, please. And I'm telling you, you're going to yeah. It's just, yeah, I call him a crazy chief. I'm going to call him a crazy chief. Take a listen, please.
Chief, kuti ndotoziva zvishuwa kuti murume uyu akatopfimba mudzimai wangu kararana.
Ndosaka ndakubvunza mubvunzo kuti wakasangana naye sei uyu munhu ukati wakamunyenga. The same applies kune uyu. Inzwa wanzwe mukadzi wako matauriro aita. Hanzi it took a long time achindi nyenga. Any man ane kodzero yekunyenga munhukadzi.
But not mukadzi.
Not a married woman.
Uyu achiziva kuti mukadzi wako akamudirei.
Uyu achiziva kuti uyu mukadzi wangu.
Aiwa, uyu achiziva kuti ndiye mukadzi wako iwewe.
Zvinoitika pavari.
Akadirei uyu.
Chief, zvinoitika patiri isusu varume izvo. Zvinotoitika izvozvo. Ndinogona kutopfimba mudzimai wangu ndisati mudzimai wangu. Kana kupfimba musikana. Indiri mudzimai.
Inzwa unzwe. Tarisoni pandatanga kutaura naye ndati ndinokuda. Iye ati kuti
hatikwete.
Ko ndozvaangadai akaita kakune uyu.
Yeah.
Right. Ipapo chief. Ndosaka ndakauya kuno.
Saka
pakuda imi.
Ndosaka tiri kutaura.
Unotonga magariro utsika neunhu.
Chaizvo. Ndozvatiri kutaura. kutotaura izvozvi saka wakauya kuno ndati inini uyu ndati ndinokuda iye akati kwete anditi kwakadii kuti kwete kune uyu
asi munhu akatora nguva achimupfimbo
ega
saka handizivi kuti
it doesn't take kunyenga munhu is not limited
but not someone soil
but kareka ndikutaurire ive mukadzi wako haaziriwe kutanga kunyengwa pa nevarume shamwari neshamwari vanonyengerana vakadzi
ndachikumbirawo chii murume undogara 800 meters location handisi akadzinga mudzimai wake chikunziri chekuti akangoona mameseji handisi akanga pane mameseji echikoma mudzimai wake saka kuti the same is zvaakaita mudzimai wake ndoita vandiri kumhuri yangu
aiwa kana iwe zvichikufadza kuti mudzimai wako kana anyengwa akararwa naye then munotaura pafamily level zvopera zvakadaro relief yauri kutsvaga kwandiri ndei wakadii kumudzinga
ini ndakaona kuti nyaya iyi ichifika inoda kuenda kuna chii
ndosaka muri pano kungouya kuna mambo hakusi kuti ndaisa nyaya yangu kuna mambo mambo vokodzera pairi tinotokurukura sezvatiri kuita izvi
inini chief samambo vandoziva inini vakarecogniza napresident wemuno muzimbabwe vanowanda wa Mnangagwa ndinoziva kuti kana ndauya nenyaya idzi dzakaita sedzi kwamuri ini ndogona kuzava nemutongo asi imi ndinojava nemutongo
ya inini mutongo ndinawo ka but hatisati tasvika ipapo nokuti whatever we are discussing ndo zvinozondirunzira kuti ndive nemutongo handiti
sure.
All right, so first and foremost, wow, this chief is an interesting chief. Honestly, he's very interesting. This man is taking it so lightly, but doesn't know someone is got a broken heart. I mean, honestly, if I've always been saying, I know many well, when you see a man proposing a married woman, it's always a woman's problem. Because, you know, our culture, culturally, people are very respectful when they see a married woman. Very respectful. You know, if they see a person with, like me, without no ring, they're like, oh, that's a single person. But when they see with the ring, and I know there's some men who are extremely disrespectful, but, you know, automatically there's a way that men will look, you know, and talk to the woman. But the moment you see a man start trying a married woman, it says a lot about the woman more than it can say a lot about a man. Because men don't just, they actually feel the energy that you kind of, you like, you know, you like them, or you're just a loose woman. But it is really sad how the chief is looking at this situation. He's not being merciful. You know, for me, I feel like he's not being merciful. He doesn't know this woman this man is broken, and he's talking like, oh, is it the only woman, your wife, that's, you know, it's not the first time women are being, you know, men are always talking to women all the time. What about your wife? But a married woman, if you can talk to a woman, you can, but not a married woman. There's a way that you respect someone who's married. You know what I mean? I don't just talk to married men anyhow. I don't. My friends that are single, we know we can vibe and I can, you know, hi, what's happening? You know, but married men, I'm very respectful because I don't want to have problems in my life. I want peace. So I feel like slowly we are losing. We are literally losing ourselves as a nation. Slowly. There's no more respect. I remember that woman that was seen being beaten up by married women that were actually given 9 years, in 9 months actually in prison. And I remember saying to myself, sometimes, God, we really need to get to the bottom of all this nonsense. I know there are laws now that kind of allowing men to be with whoever they want, and everyone that they want to be with is also being treated like a wife as well. Laws have changed in the country. But I still think and believe that if we truly want to have peace, we're going to have boundaries. You know, married women should have boundaries. Married men should have boundaries too. But when we don't have boundaries, slowly we are losing ourselves. We are losing our culture. And society is becoming like it's a joke. You know, what is family? You know, what is marriage? You know what I mean? If we don't know how to respect each other. So my chief, when they really look at the situation, they must be fair and be honest and have empathy. Chief, if it was you, you know, when somebody mess up with your wife, is that how you're going to be speaking? Definitely not. You know, so I'm a firm believer that whenever you are looking at a situation, have empathy. be in the person's shoes and think, how was I going to feel? Because remember, we have had situations where someone gets murdered because he's being found with someone's wife. And what do? Is it not wisdom for us to be able to prevent problems than to actually entertain until we are caught in the crossfire? And some people get killed. Unnecessarily. Because, I mean, I can only imagine. And again, I've always been telling single people, whether a single man or single woman, listen, being disciplined doesn't start when you're married. Having boundaries does not start when you're married. It starts when you're single. You should be having boundaries as a person. There are things that you don't do. There are things that you don't do. I think I've told you a story of my friend. My friend just got married. It's about a month, I think, into his marriage. And he called me. I was like, hey, because it's my friend. I mean, it's my friend, a guy. We have known each other for years, or family for years, a friend of mine for years, Hey, are you there at home? I'm like, no, I'm not. I said, yes, I'm here. What's up? He said, no, I wanted to come and see you. I'm like, no, do you have your wife? He said, no, she's not there. She's at school. I said, don't come. Don't come to our house. Because you and I, we know each other. But what will your wife say? Because she sees you. I'm single, remember? Not only single, I'm good looking. And you and I, we are vibing. She was like, hey, what's up with that woman around my husband? So because I respect my friend and his marriage, and little did I know that he was actually having problems and he wanted to talk to me about it, but I had to block him. But eventually they divorced, but I didn't know of the divorce within 3 months after their wedding, which had nothing to do with me. But at that time, I was trying to say, no, because I respect your marriage. You and me, we're good. We're good, we know each other. Nothing can happen between us because we have always been family. But what about your wife? I don't want her to think like I'm disrespecting her because I have boundaries that I don't cross, which means men and women both should have boundaries. Whenever I hear that this woman was called to someone's husband or this one, I'm like, these people don't even know that there's something called boundaries. You need to remember that sometimes it's not even about the other person. It's simply about you. Every decision that I make, I benefit from it, not the other person. I don't live my life based on what's happening on the street. Just because 500 people can do wrong, it doesn't make it right. To me, is it the right thing or it's wrong? If it's the right thing, I go for it. If it's wrong, I'm like, no. You know what I mean? I do not care that we're in 2024 where people are just doing as they please. We are living in the most sexually saturated era ever. People can do anything. That does not make it right. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to change my principles to suit what's going on the streets. Definitely not. My principles are intact and I'm not going to bend my rules. It is what it is. You know why? Because I know that there are consequences and there are dangers that I have to face. Should I lower my guard? So I won't lower my guard. It is what it is. So it's said that the chief is taking this issue like it's a joke, but the man is really broken. You come after my wife. This guy is my neighbor. It's my neighbors. When you're neighbors, you become family. But I guess there's more to the story than we can ever think. Again, women, if you're married, honor and respect yourself. Men, when you're married, respect yourself. It's not about your wife, actually. It's more to do with you. Who do you love yourself? Because I've always said, the moment a person begins to prostitute their body, they hate themselves. It's lowering your standard that everyone on the street will know how you look like. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. So sometimes things have to be said as they are. You know what I mean? If we want to have a better society, we're going to have to be honest with one another. Zimbabwe is getting broken daily. It's sad. What you see on social media, I'm like when I grew up, the time I was growing up, I'm in the 80s, yo. I'm like an old school. There are things that we could not even do. In my daddy's house, you can't bake home after 6. My dad is he'll deal with you. My dad, we didn't know that you can come back home after 6 in my father's house. Not in my father's house. But that was like written on the tablet of my heart. Even now in my 40s, what am I going to be doing outside, just roaming around like I'm crazy? Except I'm going out for dinner or I'm going for a functional church. What am I going to be doing on the streets after 6? Nothing. So I still don't like to be outside. Because that's how I was raised. We need to restore our society by, again, going back. Like the old rules work, y'all. all these, you know, now it's 2024, yeah, we can just do anything. People are bleeding out there. Relationships are falling apart. Marriages are collapsing. Families are hurting because we just have lacked to have boundaries. And I guess it's time for us to restore that. When I saw that video circulating, and many could not even begin to fathom how the chief was dealing with the situation, I was like, you know what? It's simply an issue of boundaries. Very easy peasy. Have boundaries. A married woman, talk, greet people, but people should know it's a no-go area. Respect them, greet them. And that's fair play, but be respectful of self. I do remember in my early 20s, I got a job with an architecture. I can't mention his name because he's in Johannesburg. Well-known architecture. Maybe he's not in his 80s because it was around 50s, late 50s, almost 6 years. I was early 20s, a young girl. You know, instead of doing all these shenanigans, he said I had choice between my job or him abuses me. So two things. I choose the job. I loved my job. So I loved the job because I've told my parents, you know, I'm young and this is my first job and Mom, I've got a job and I'm excited. You know, I'm happy. And when I just said that the conditions were changing, I was like, no. And he fired me. And I took the pen, the punch. It was painful. I remember crying, leaving that company that day. And he even lied to his wife that I'd stolen something, but because he didn't want to tell the truth, that his moves is the reason why he wants me to go. You know, but I remember going back home and I prayed to God and I said to God, listen, Yahweh, you know, Daddy, because me and God, we are like buddies. I'm like, Daddy, you must know that I need a job. This man wanted to mess me up. But let me tell you, within 3 days, literally where I stay here used to be a bush. So like 5 minutes drive from where I stay, that's where I used to work. So it's a big company. I got a nice job. My salary was 5 times the salary I was getting from an architecture. Early 20s. You understand what I'm saying? What God did. Sometimes it takes a sacrifice and boundaries for you to see God showing up and show off, So I've always said to people, when you keep your principles intact, you never lose and you will never fail. You're always going to come out a conqueror. You know what I mean? You come out a conqueror. So that's all I have for you tonight. Please have boundaries if you're married. Even if you're single, just learn to have boundaries. It will help you in life. Otherwise, you are in to lose a lot sometimes. It's not worth it. May God bless you and may God bless Zimbabwe. I love you so much and sleep tight. If you're just waking up, have a great one. I'll see you soon and bye for now.